Hello everyone. Second video today. I just sent a rather absurd email to Sony. A lot of executives at Sony. The Sony executive Tom Rothman has been involved with all this the entire time, because anyone who knows anything about the industry will know that Sony Pictures was the primary producer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, as well as, right, the rape drama, The Movie Critic. Right? And so, now that we all see everything for what it is, right, I decided to write them, because if there's any validity in my claims, and this is what I said in the email, that in that scenario, this scenario that I contend is the only likely logical scenario for how everything went down, then that puts Sony on the hook for a strong $300 billion settlement for the five of us. And so, again, my contention is that he's holding four women against their will in a very disgusting psychological way, through remote viewing, telepathy, psychokinesis, all these things. And everyone in the industry has been aware of it since June of 2024. All of their agents, right, that they've all allowed him to keep this disgusting grip over them. And so again, right, we're using our inference, we're using our minds. We say, right, how does it work? Like, what do you mean? I mean that Quentin told all of them, oh, he'll sue and then I'll give him the girls. That's like where he was at in his mind. But he also didn't have any problems telling them, oh, but I'm going to try to make him kill himself. That's where they were all actually at. Right? That they said, okay, he sues, you give him, but you convince him to blow his brains out, that's fine too. Right? And so, when that failed to yield anything, then he said, oh, I want you to sue. He told me as a clairvoyant, I want you to sue. Didn't say anything about the girls. And that was after his black magic ritual to poison me with diseases that he enticed everyone to help him with, which is espoused in my novel, Appendix 3, page 237. And from there, I took the job sorting trash. He was awful the whole time, all needles. Like, and I didn't realize. Like, if he would have just like said, like, oh, once you serve WME, then I give you all these women, I probably would have let him keep fucking with me, you know. But now it's gotten to this such an attenuated degree, right, where I'd never sued him because I have no money. He tortured me into feeling like I can't work. That he in fact made the continuing adventures of Cliff Booth with Sydney Sweeney and Mikey Madison and forcibly raped and penetrated them on the set, where they had no say in who does the scenes with them, no say on if there was an intimacy coordinator or not. And I contend that is a felony. That's actually serial rape, isn't it? 3 bondage scenes, each actress, that's 6 counts of first-degree rape. Right, and so this is all in my email to Sony. So this is, right, this is like really... Right, it's a dangerous, ugly thing that you guys are like insulating, and I can't help but think that if the shareholders, right, if the stockholders have a say in how you guys handle this, seems to me like they would vote immediately to prosecute everyone to the fullest extent of the law, because that's the safe investment decision, right? To which I say, oh, so okay, I see. So is Sony typically in the business of defending serial rapists? Is that what they usually do? So Sony uses their investment money to offer a good, strong defense to felons. That's right. So, I don't know. You know, it upsets me a lot, like how long this fucking thing has gone on. You know, like how hideous it all is, right? To keep those women against their will. Right? Quentin hates the fact that I have no money, that I have nothing. Right? And so he's being an illegal bully. That's like what he's doing. on top of being a sadistic, psychic asshole, right? That he is refusing those women the right to speak to me at all. And the reason that he's doing that is because he knows I'm just as strong as him as a clairvoyant. And if they come to me, right, we turn it on him till he's dead. That's the point. That's the point that I'm making. I don't want to do that. You just put them in my possession. You just relinquish control. No more sadism, no more needles, no more evil. You do that with someone else. Right? And so that's my point with the agency and everyone around them. It's like you can't, like, I don't buy that you're all just like, oh, well, he'll sue. No, you're all felons. If you don't release them into my care without a lawsuit, you're a felon and deserve to go to prison. That's the end of the discussion. Right? So, I don't want him to murder them. I don't, He's so ugly. He's so wicked. He's so mentally ill. He has had a psychotic break. He is not well in his mind. He needs to be in a hospital at the very least. Right? And he's a felon. He is a multiple felon. He needs to go to prison. That's like all of them. Every single one of them. Every single agent that represents any of these people involved, they say, well, okay, well, Quentin knows that Brian's going to sue. Right? When in reality, what they were saying is, I don't care if you hold those women against their will. That's like, okay, sure. Yes, I approve of you holding those women against their will, preventing them from speaking to this man in any way. You get it? So, it's just this disgusting evil thing, Right? Do I deserve to die? Do they deserve to die? And I see further and further how much of a goblin he is, how much that this is just like a tactic. Psychologically, he doesn't respect clairvoyance at all. He doesn't understand anything about anything. The way that he has behaved his adult life has engendered a shallow psychological foundation, right? And so now that he's spent all this time dumping what was left of it into me, there's nothing left. He's gone. He's gone. I swallowed him. I swallowed all those women by his design, not by mine. And so, right? He has to give them to me. No more. No more. No more. And so we're in this weird place. We're in this weird place where it's like I have to get to LA and I have no resources. I fucking tell all these billion-dollar companies, you guys are on the hook for so much fucking money. Put these women in front of me and there is no nothing. Right? Or you all go to prison or someone murders me, right? I feel like that's where we're at. It's this disgusting, corporate espionage, ugly, illegal thing. That's what we're in the middle of right now, right? That those women, if they are not in possession of their phones, able to call me, able to go to the airport to fly to where I am, right? Then they are being held illegally. They are being illegally imprisoned. That's my point. That's my contention. Right? And so my point, another point that I'm making is that this condition that he exerts upon all of us is so sinister and ugly and evil that a phone call from them is not enough. A FaceTime from them is not enough. It means nothing. They have to be in front of me. I have to see, right? Their fucking badass banging bodies. I have to see their eyes in my eyes. Right? That's nothing else is adequate. Everything else is somehow can be traced back to Quentin's psychic sadism. That's what I'm saying. If Sydney Sweeney is in front of me, right? If Daniela Pick is in front of me, if Mikey Madison is in front of me, if the other one, I don't know her name, right? That was at the theater, right? If they're all in front of me, I can look them in the eye and say, explain to me what has been occurring. Right? And so my point is that they're all going to start crying immediately, because I will too. That's my point. Right? That they're going to collapse into my arms and say, please, he's so awful. He's so awful. He's the worst man. He's been so ugly to us. He's raped us 500 times. Right? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Right? Only me. Yes, I'm an arrogant ass. Right? Also, but how can you be so sure? Because he treats me the same way, you understand? right? He's not fucking me, right? He's fucking them because they're in the room with him, right? But every time they leave his house to go to a red carpet, every time they leave his house to do right, THR roundtable, right, every time they leave his house to do a cosmopolitan interview, right, he's on them. Right? And so again, I contend right, that the highest levels of clairvoyance is raw logic, isn't it? What did both Sydney Sweeney and Mikey Madison both talk about in their most recent releases? Are you keeping up? Right? Mikey Madison, intimacy coordinators. Sydney Sweeney, woman's right to choose. Right? Right? Daniela Pig. Right? Flying to LA. Right? To do something nice. To the New York Post. You get it? Right? This is the games that Quentin plays. Right? That they can't say outright because he exacts a sadistic torture upon them. And now that we all know, right, this is why it's dangerous. You understand? That he is so evil. He is so awful. He can't just let them go. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why. It upsets me so much. I could start bawling like a fucking 10-year-old who scraped his knee riding a bike. No bullshit. Just at the thought of like how ugly he is, how awful he is, to know that he has, right? And I suspect a lot of this has to do with money as well. But to have everything. He could get Margot Robbie there in 5 minutes. She fucking let him whip her, whatever the fuck he does. Tie her up. Right? But I can't live this way anymore. I can't. I'm so desperate to get out there. And I have no money, I have no resources. My mother almost called the cops on me yesterday because I was begging, I was crying, I was pleading. I said, please, I can't stay in this house anymore. I can't stay in the apartment that I have across town because there's just too much trauma. I have to go to Los Angeles to go to this theater or WME and to resolve whatever the fuck is occurring between me and Quentin Tarantino and these women. Right? So I'll keep writing about it. Again, that email I sent to Sony. Right? I know they're crunching those numbers. I know they are. No, they're not dumb. What? Until I speak to those women in person, right? They could tell me on the phone, like, oh, hey, we're on the way. Be at this airport, 3 hours. Cool. I'll be there, 100%. Right? But until I embrace them, until I say it's over, it's okay. We're together now. Right? It's this evil, sadistic thing. That's my point. That's my point. That they're all fed up with the Hollywood mind game. Right? That there's a new daddy now. And he's hovering over Quentin. Right? Saying, no, you need to just chill out. You need to just sit there and fucking be grateful. Right? And since you're so goddamn ugly, I take all the beautiful things from you. It's not why I wrote. But if the shoe fits, they don't deserve to die. I don't deserve to die. I don't deserve to live in perpetual terror or fear. They don't deserve to live in perpetual terror or fear. They don't deserve to be raped every day. I don't deserve to have to live over my shoulder every day. Right? It goes on and 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 on. He's so sick in his mind. He's gone. He's gone psychologically. He has no spiritual light. He has no intellectual fire. He's gone. He's gone. And every day that he holds these women against their will, right, he brings more of corporate America, high corporate Hollywood into the fold to make them culpable financially as well as criminally. And so I'm trying to get there. I spend every day trying to come up with the money. I have no money, I have no resources, I have no way to do any of these things, But I have to get there. I do know. I guess I know. That's the only option. It's I have no money. I have nothing. There's not a single good person in Los Angeles. It makes no sense to me. It makes no fucking sense to me. And now that everything is what it is, he ain't never gonna let him out till I come there with the LAPD. Never. It's obvious. He has no heart. He's obviously just sick and evil. So please, please, right? If you live in LA, right, notify the LAPD. Right? They don't deserve to live this way. They don't deserve to live like they're imprisoned because they would rather spend their time with another man, right? These are Quentin's flaws, right? It's not their flaws, right? That he's a man in the world, he exists a certain way, right? He's allowed to do whatever he wants, right? But when somebody wants to leave, they have the right to do that too. So, let me know what you think. God bless.